Okay, this is a demonstration of my Morrowind Alchemy project. I created this project in order to demonstrate my ability to create SQL databases, as well as demonstrate my knowledge at creating Power BI dashboards. So what this project is, for a little bit of background, for those who don't know what Morrowind is, it is an early 2000s action RPG created by Bethesda, and it's kind of an open world thing where you can travel around and complete quests and things like that, right? And in this game there's a mechanic called Alchemy, which is where while you're traveling through the world you can collect ingredients either from the wild or purchase them from merchants or from maybe monsters or animals that you kill. And each of these ingredients has multiple different alchemical effects, like fortify health or restore health or cure disease. And if you combine two ingredients together that have similar effects, it will create a potion with that effect. So if you need a potion that restores health, you need to find two ingredients with a restore health effect to it, and when you combine those together you'll get the potion. Now, Morrowind being an old game, it's kind of antiquated and the information is not very straightforward in game. So a lot of people who play this game, if they're going to do alchemy, they end up needing to refer to online wikis to find, which effects belong to which ingredients, or where to find which ingredients, or which merchant sells this ingredient, so on and so forth. And so what I wanted to do was to create something that was a quick reference for all of this information, so when myself or anyone who potentially plays Morrowind needs to look up alchemical information, instead of jumping to different wikis, there would just be a tool that you can use to quick reference that information. So what I did was I created a Power BI dashboard that does exactly that. But in order to get here, what I did was created a SQLite Database with all of the relevant information to Morrowind Alchemy, and that's what I'm going to go over with you now. So I'm here in the DB browser for SQLite, and this is my Morrowind Alchemy table. You can see, or database, you can see that it contains 5 different tables. Effects, ingredients, merchants, and then the ingredient effects and the merchant ingredients. And so this is what the database looks like, but to give kind of a better view, I've also created an ERD diagram that will go, that kind of shows you the structure and relation of all of these different tables. So starting off, the primary table is the ingredients table, and what it does is it lists the name of every ingredient, its own unique ingredient ID that I created that serves as the primary key for this table, and then you also see that it has the description of the ingredient, the value, and its weight. Looking over at the merchants table, we have all of the merchants in the game, like the name of all of the merchants in the game that sell restocking alchemical ingredients, as well as the location they are in the world and how much gold they have. And then, of course, we have a unique merchant ID for each merchant that serves as the primary key for this table. Now over here we have the effects table, where we have the effect name, which also serves as the effect description, because the effect name is just something like fortify health or so on. And then of course we have an effect ID, unique effect ID that serves as the primary key. Now in Morrowind, an ingredient can have up to 4 effects, most of them having 4 effects. So we have several different ingredients which can all have multiple different effects. We also have multiple different merchants who can who can sell numerous different ingredients, and then of course we have multiple different ingredients that can be sold by, we have the same ingredients sold by multiple different merchants. And then of course we have numerous different effects, and all of these effects, a single effect can belong to multiple different ingredients. So in order to relate all of these together, we have these 2 tables that kind of bridge the gap. We have the merchant ingredients table and the ingredient effects table. So for instance, for the ingredient effects table, it is comprised of 2 foreign keys, the ingredient ID from the ingredients table and the effect ID from the effects table. And both of these serve as composite keys, so that each value in the ingredient effects table is unique and correlates to, like, each row correlates to a specific ingredient and one of the effects it has. Same for the merchant ingredients. This table is comprised of the merchant ID foreign key from the merchants table and the ingredient ID foreign key from the ingredients table, and these two make up the composite key. So again, we have a unique, every row of this table is unique, and they all correlate to a merchant and one of the ingredients that they happen to sell. So using this structure, I was able to feed this into a Power BI dashboard. Now, SQLite is not natively supported by Power BI, so what we had to do was actually install an ODBC SQLite driver, and then treat the SQLite database as an ODBC data source. Now, I've listed step-by-step instructions of how to do that in the GitHub repository if you're not familiar, but in order to get this Power BI dashboard to work on your end, if you were to clone this repo and try to replicate it, you would need to install those ODBC SQLite drivers, or drivers, singular, I should say. So just keep that in mind. But once we were able to get the data linked up to the database, this is the Power BI tool that I was able to create. So the way it works is you essentially have one large list of all of the different ingredients in the game. And if we are to select one, let's say ash yam. They have strange names because this is a fantasy RPG in a fantasy world. But if we click ash yam, we can see that it contains 4 effects, which are detect key, fortify intelligence, fortify strength, and resist common disease. The description: most common in farm areas, occasionally found in the wild. So this is stating that you could usually find it in the wild, typically in farms. Its value is only 1 gold. Its weight is half a pound. And you can see that all of these merchants in the world sell a restocking supply of this item, and this is where they're located in the world. So just by finding an ingredient on this list, you can tell all the effects it has, where you can find it in the world, where you can purchase it from merchants, as well as the value and the weight. So you can do this for just about, not just about, for any ingredient in the game listed on here. If you don't want to scroll through the alphabetical list, you could search the item specifically with this search bar. So if we look at Corkable Brute, we can see that it has Cure Paralyzation, Fortify Luck, Lightning Shield, and Restore Health. Where it's found. Here's a list of all the merchants that sell it, so on and so forth. Now, so we see where you can search for a specific ingredient to find out what effects it has, but what if you want to make an ingredient that is, let's say restore health, but you don't know what ingredients possess that effect? We can go to all the way down here to restore health and select it in the effects table, and now it's going to automatically filter the ingredients column with only ingredients that contain the restore health effect. And so once again, Corkball Root is there, but we could also check out Marshmallow and see that it's found growing near water, and these are the different merchants that sell that item. So there you have it. This is essentially how the tool works. Both of these lists have search bars, or you can find the item or effect in alphabetical order, and every ingredient and effect is in the game, and every merchant that sells a restocking supply of an alchemical ingredient is also listed in the database, and it's all referenced right here in this tool. So this has been a general demonstration of the tool. I hope some people find it useful, and feel free to clone this repo and check it out for yourself. Thank you.